talk is mean. The crowd parts like the sea. They can look but a touch, they can only dream. He loves China, so he licks his lips. He's inspired by her arrogance. His first words make her body tense. She can't leave cause she feels his strength. Now she can't help but listen, but she's down to her last defense. And she says, why you being so persistent? He says, I speak what I want into existence. She never heard a man talk like this. Never seen somebody so confident. Driven to the point of death. Gets what he wants even if it means no rest.
Welcome back. This is the Only in Miami show, and I'm your host, Grant Stern. You can find me on Twitter at Grant Stern, and everything about the show at www.onlyinmiami.co. iTunes, podcast, SoundCloud, and a whole lot more. Check it out at onlyinmiami.co. And we're back live in studio with Dr. Hector Medina. Dr. Medina, thank you so much for joining me in the studio today.
Good evening, Grant. Thank you so much for having me.
So, Dr. Medina, tell our audience a little bit about what inspired you to run for mayor of North Miami.
We moved to North Miami because there was a MoCA museum, and then they were planning to, in Main Street, to make a bunch of antique shops and artist studios, and my wife is an artist, and she chose the city, and we moved there. I bought her a house the day of our anniversary, 7 years ago.
Okay, so what's your opinion of the current state of government affairs in North Miami after being a resident for 7 years?
North Miami is a multi-ethnic city, and the problem right now is that the community is being divided by activities that the city hall is conducting that are not unifying the community but dividing it, because they focus more in one sector of the community than the rest. And we are all here in the same boat. Everybody has to be afloat, and everybody has to survive, and everybody has to aspire to improve the city. It cannot be, for one segment of the population.
Well, let's talk about this. What are some of the issues that caused you to run? Because I know that there's several issues that are ongoing with the city of North Miami. Most recently, we've heard a lot about an idea to make a Chinatown there, which seems a little bit strange because there's no natural Asian population there that anybody knows of. What's going on with all this? Why are they doing this?
Well, it is my understanding that the Chinatown is, in a way, I believe that the city is catering to Florida International University, who has a Chinese, high population of Chinese students. Chinatown is the city residents who live in the area where they're planning to develop and oppose Chinatown. I don't understand why the city keep pushing development that is not welcomed by the residents or the city in general. It's beyond me why they're doing this. It's not a popular project. The people who live in that area are Bahamians or African Americans, and they want the culture to be, reflect in the planning of that area. They don't want a foreign, completely alien culture, to dominate where they live. They spend ridiculous amount of money on studies and trips for nothing.
Doesn't that seem like something very odd that they have? How much have they spent in studies to decide if there's going to be a Chinatown or not?
I believe they spend around $50,000 just for the gas stations design. And, the area around with all Chinese plastic things and, not the real current Chinese culture, but the one that from the movies of the 40s and 50s. It's ridiculous.
That is pretty ridiculous. What else is going on? What other issues are you concerned about in North Miami that the current administration is not handling properly?
Well, the current administration, the first thing when I got involved with the city, I got involved because they were allowing businesses to operate illegally, in the city.
Okay.
And one of them was affecting me. And,
What was that? What kind of business was it?
It was an industrial dry cleaners in a residential zone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they had that since 2009, and to the credit of the inspectors and code enforcement and the city planning commission, they tried to close the place since 2009. But the government of the city, and it's not only the current one, but 3 previous mayors, they were practically, encouraging these people to stay there because they brought up more than 100 jobs, and apparently money was more important than the health and the well-being of more than 300 residents. It was ridiculous. That operation was 24/7, 365 under a tarp. They have machines as big as a pickup truck, 20 of those. And,
Wow.
The residents, there were people sleeping 20 feet away from that, that inferno, which is what it was. You can go to YouTube and see a bunch of videos that we placed.
Gotcha. And is it still there?
No, we
Okay,
finally
good.
closed on the 31st of last month, of March.
So,
But it
so
took us 3 years.
Oh man, that's a long time. That's a very long time.
Yeah, all of us had to invest around $30,000 on noise-proof windows and proofing our houses, not counting the contamination from the machines. Those machines use perchloroethylene, which is known to cause cancer. We were very worried, but the city chose to look the other way. For them, and we had to force them, literally, to close them down. It was a hard and very long fight.
So, are there other instances of the city choosing dollars over citizens' health or the well-being of the neighborhoods in North Miami that you can tell us about? Because, I know that North Miami has had a very troubled city government. One of the former mayors was arrested, ironically, in a mortgage scheme that involved the radio.
The problem in the city, as I see it, and I don't have all the pieces of the puzzle.
Sure, nobody does, right?
Yeah, that's right. The problem is that the developers come and they present a plan and a very beautiful, architectural pictures, and they say this and they say that. And in my experience, the 2 buildings that are going up in my neighborhood, they told us, that the building was going to be pretty with glasses, and now what they're building is a warehouse,